Hello there, welcome back to the Lake Laogai server. Before we get this video started, I'd like to thank you all ever so much for the tremendous amount of support that you guys showed on the first episode. It truly blew me out of the water, and the views, the likes, the comments, the sharing of it was all... It was baffling. That's all I can say at this point in time. So to my fellow server mates, thank you for the warm welcome, and to the new viewers who came from it, welcome to the channel. I hope you guys enjoy the content that I upload, and also for those of you who are commenters, well, rest assured, usually when you leave a comment on my video, I'll be quick to respond to it if I am able to, but most likely I will because, well, I'm always excited to read a comment and hear what you guys have to say. But let's get on with the episode, shall we? So in this episode we are going to resume working on my base. Now you can tell that I've already begun to swap out the cobblestone block within the foundation of our base here with light gray concrete blocks along with light gray glazed terracotta blocks, and then right here for where there's going to be a tower eventually, we're going to be using a mixture of light gray concrete powder, and I haven't decided what the complementary block is going to be quite yet. Now, ooh, it's getting close to be dusk. Okay, so let's try and get this segment wrapped up quickly then, so we don't have to worry about any hostile creatures that go bump in the night stopping by. So like I said in the previous episode, instead of using paintings or taking stairs and slabs and trying to create a unique look and pattern in the walls with them, I want to begin to use various blocks, and I decided to use various types of the glazed terracotta blocks that are going to be coming in Minecraft 1.12, the colorful update. And so far I'm pretty chuffed with how this looks. I want to make sure I say chuffed and not chafed, because when I uploaded a new Division SMP Let's Play, someone commented saying chuffed means proud, happy, excited, whereas chafed, that means something else. And I was so embarrassed when I read that comment. But I'm fairly chuffed with how this looks, and although we have this corner and this corner right here acting as my storage space, I think what I'm gonna do, if not in this episode, then in the next one, is I'm just gonna build a small little storage facility right over there on that little stretch of land that you see at the center of your screen. And hey, dude, I'm trying to record. You broke my sword, dude. You got skin so thick you can break a sword pretty quickly. So I think right there on that little stretch of land is where I'm going to be building a small temporary storage facility, or who knows, maybe it will eventually become my official storage facility. Alright, so about roughly an hour and a half after the previous clip was recorded, this is what I have for the progress update. Now, keep in mind, I did have to do a little bit of a mining session just so I can gather up a few more resources to be able to continue construction. But for the most part, at least, I think our base is starting to take shape. It will have a tower-like structure within the center of it, in case you couldn't tell with these two walls here. But speaking of these two walls, this is what it originally looked like. And now if we go ahead and run back onto the right side right here, we can tell that it's a little more wide and it's not looking so much like a bunny. I forget who it was, but someone had commented on the previous episode saying that when I showed off the base in the very last segment of the first episode, they were like, it looks like a bunny sitting in a pasture or something like that. And that was something that I was trying not to have happen, because right before I hit the start recording button on OBS, to me, I thought to myself, this looks like a bunny, and that's not what I want it to look like, at least not for starters and everything. But at this point now, I'm going to continue to work on the central tower of our base, and what I'm thinking of doing is taking the light gray concrete blocks and letting them be placed down something like this, because I'm going to try and keep this as close to my reference image that I have on my second monitor here. And then the remainder of the wall here is going to be composed of light gray concrete powder. The two blocks look fairly similar, but at the same time their textures are different, so that'll be a nice little variation that we have going on for our color palette. Well peeps, both fins are looking fairly identical to one another, and until we have the middle tower fully constructed, I'm just going to refer to the two walls that we have here as fins. What do you think, Moo-Moos? No one cares what you guys think. Anywho, so I'm actually going to take a break from working on the middle tower, and that's only because in between the previous segment and this one, I went ahead and lit up my own nether portal. But unfortunately, if we were to take it from the overworld into the nether, it's going to drop us off in someone else's portion of the nether hub, which means if we were to take a nether portal that we went through and came out of in the nether to get back here, unfortunately it's not going to drop us off here. It's going to drop us off at someone else's base. So now comes the fun task of sinking nether portals. So this is the nether portal that I would have been dumped out at, and if we were to go through it, well actually I'm not entirely sure where that would take us. But we unfortunately don't have that much time left for today to record this new episode for you all, because I do want to get this out within the same day that I've begun to record it. But, oh wait, no, we may have actually passed my little corridor right here. So if anyone on the server who's watching this knows whose base or section of the server that would drop us off at, feel free to let me know so then I can check it out maybe in the next episode, because there are still some places on the server that I'd like to see and some things that I would like to do, cough cough prank. But this is where our nether portal is going to be at, and if I did the calculations correctly, this is going to take us to our little humble abode. Yes, alrighty then. So let's just go ahead and go through it one more time, but before we do that, let's turn down the master volume so that way we don't have to go rep earphone users or headphone users, whatever the saying is. But let's make sure this takes us to our own nether portal in the nether. And yes, it does. I think what I may do during a future Beam live stream is work on a little tunnel system that leads to the main tunnel that we are branching off from. But for now, at least, this will do. I'll tell you guys a quick little funny story. So I was getting ready to wrap things up for this episode when I actually sat down and looked at the footage that I had already recorded, and it only added up to about maybe 8 to 9 minutes. And I thought to myself, you know what, I don't want this to be a rather short Let's Play. So I want to go ahead and actually begin to work on a small but simple storage facility, and it's going to resemble yet again another structure from something that I'm basing my main base off of, or from I should say. Now what I went ahead and did off camera was I just laid out the general layout for what this is going to look like, and if it wasn't obvious right here, we're going to have somewhat of a pathway that leads up to the tippy top right here. But we're also going to have, coming from this side and this side over here, a small little entrance that will lead into the actual storage system. Now, I guess I should point out right here and now that for those of you who are aware as to what I'm building, I'm not actually going to... Hold on a second. I think I may have made this a little too wide. I think I want this to only be... Oh, no, this will do, actually. This will do. I was trying to imagine this in my head and trying to, like, picture exactly how it would look when finished. But I should point this out right here now that for those of you who are familiar with what I am building most of my builds on the server from, then you should know that I'm going to be using the old school art style along with the new school art style. And without going any farther into that, because I don't want to potentially spoil or flat out spill the beans with what I'm referencing, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at that. But you know what, yeah, this is too wide. Now this is looking a little bit better, but I think it's a little narrow now, a little too narrow actually. So why don't we go ahead and just increase the width by one more block, and then we'll see exactly how this looks. And I think having this go, I want this walkway to be 4 blocks in length, and that's as far as I want it to go. Otherwise it's going to look a little too big, if you catch my drift. So if we just extend the width a little bit now, so we have length and width going for us, this looks pretty damn good if you ask me. Actually, I don't want to say this looks just perfect, but it looks just right, I guess. With the space that we're working with here, with the length and the width that we have already going on, I think this will fit just right. But now what I'm going to begin to do is just fill in the walls right here, just like this, because like I said, for this side and this side is where we're going to have our little doorways, and then I'm just gonna, I'm trying to think, I mean, I know I want to create a pathway leading up to this platform right here, but I'm not entirely sure where I want to begin placing down the stairs. I don't want to place slabs, and that's only because it's not going to look right, because then I'm going to be tempted and most likely will then place slabs on top of these blocks right here, and that's something that I don't want to do, because we sort of have that going on for what we have for our 2 fins over there. But let me go ahead and begin to get my build on and put my thinking cap on as well, so I can figure out exactly how I want this platform and the pathway leading up to it to look like. Excuse me, Mr. Little Piggywick, we don't want to see your curly little tail, at least not right now. You ready to show the peeps what we've done? Alright, let's go ahead, and on a count of 3, alright? Count with me, little Piggywig. Yeah, count with me. 3, 2, 1, behold! Well, you can't really see it from here, peeps, but behold! This is what we're going to have for our small but simple little storage facility. Now, yet again, I'm going to be utilizing the glazed terracotta blocks, and I wanted to try and create some type of a intricate pattern that is to, if we use something called our imagination, we can pretend that it's emitting a little light where the, I want to say the cyan streaks are at, but I mean, I'm not that good with my colors. To me at least, this looks to be a little on the cyan type of things. But like I said, if we use that little thing called imagination, we could just pretend that these blocks are glowing, and then right here we're using the gray glazed terracotta blocks. And this is where using our imagination is going to get a little interesting, alright? So bear with me, peeps. Where we see the, I want to say the gray slash white streaks within the gray glazed terracotta blocks, that is where the light is going to be coming from. And then the rest of it is just going to be completely dark. Now, while I was constructing this little pathway and the platform up here, I couldn't help but begin to think that, you know what, Mojang, if you ever watch this video, most likely no one ever will from Mojang, but if anyone from Mojang ever watches this, please, please, please give us glass slabs and glass stairs. Seriously, because I wanted the platform and the pathway to be nothing but glass, so then we can even look into our small but simple storage facility. But we don't have them available. I think like they can be found in the cork mod. I could be wrong though. I know you can make them in slabcraft and staircraft, but I only know that from playing over on the Division SMP. But this is what we have for the interior of our small simple storage facility, and I like it. I'm right beneath the 4 chests that we have right here. We have a furnace, so that way then if we need to begin to smelt or cook anything up while we're here, we can go ahead and do just that. And then just some subtle light sources were placed down on top of the cobblestone walls that you see right here. Now, I think for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode. I mean, when we look back, we managed to reconstruct the fins for our main base, and then we also established our own nether portal and made a little tunnel branching off of the main one in the nether that leads up to our own nether portal that our fellow server mates can take to get here. And then we also created this little simple but cute little marvel of a build, and since it's getting to be nightfall now, that's my cue to wrap things up. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this episode, then be sure to leave a like and share it with your friends. But also, if you're new to the channel, then I invite you to check out the rest of it. But don't forget to turn on notifications when subscribing, that way you will then be notified when future Minecraft and other gameplay content is uploaded from yours truly, Vanillaraccoon. But I would like to wish you all a happy day, and peace out.